Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield here at the Duchess Theatre in the West End of London at the play that goes wrong intentionally. We got the writer and the star of the show, Henry Lewis. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Apologies firstly for piling on a two-show day. It can't be easy because this isn't sort of a phone-it-in type of show, is it?
No. It's pretty intense, pretty tiring. There's quite a lot of physical stuff in the show, and sort of lots of stunts and things, and big bits of slapstick. So yeah, no, it's quite a tiring show, and 2 show days are pretty demanding.
I don't think I've seen a show more packed with shtick than this show. I mean, it's the play that goes wrong that could have a million things go wrong unintentionally that intentionally were meant to go wrong.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I think we quite often find if something really does go wrong, it's a real problem, I think. I think it's really important that we're sort of in control of all the things that do go wrong. I think quite often people say, oh, it's fine if something does go wrong, I'm sure you can get away with it. But actually, if something really does go wrong, it can sort of really stick out. So we have to be very precise. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a play about a play which is a calamity. It's badly produced. It all goes wrong. Nobody likes it. The cast end up falling out, falling over. It's really the worst thing since the X Factor musical to hit the West End, isn't it?
Well, we're quite proud of the fact that the show's been a disaster. We often say that, originally we were just trying to do a murder mystery, but all these things went wrong, and so now it's become this thing. No, but I mean, there's a few things in the show that are sort of based on things that we've sort of seen go wrong in shows, or that have happened to us that have gone wrong in shows. No show that we've done has been quite as disastrous as this one, though. Yeah.
It's so clever, and if this were done cheaply, it wouldn't work. I mean, there's some big set pieces that have to go wrong at the right time, at the right place for you to then do your thing. But it's impressive, and it takes you by surprise.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you say that. I mean, I think the way we've sort of wrote it was designed to keep the audience guessing, and to keep it moving, and to keep it fast paced, and hopefully everything that happens has a sort of callback later on in the show, so that you get really big payoffs in the sort of, especially in the second act, but also in the first act, all the setups are sort of little mini jokes within themselves, hopefully.
How difficult is it, especially at the end of that second act, when it just gets crazier and crazier, to keep on top of it? Because it is like a HGV going down the M1, and then you have to put the brakes on, don't you? Yeah,
you've got to be in control all the time, and you've got to be focused, and as you say, discipline, totally. That's really, really important, I think. And it's really important that you're able to sort of play it straight and have, as I say, sort of physical precision. And obviously, I don't want to give too much away, but, there's moments where you've got bits of set and stuff falling around people, and you've got to be in the right place at the right time. And so whilst having the comic timing, it's also about having the technical precision to do it. So it can be tricky, but we've had a fair bit of practice now. I've been doing it for a while, so hopefully we get it right.
Has anybody sat down and added up how many jokes there are in this, both physically and in the script?
We haven't done a full sort of joke count, no, but I don't know. There must be several hundred, I reckon, and we're sort of maybe, I don't know, getting on for maybe even 1,000. I don't know, but yeah, quite a few hundred.
And of course, there's the pre-show before the show even starts. You have the audience laughing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have a sort of half-an-hour pre-show. Obviously, the setup of the show is that it's an amateur dramatic society putting on the show, and it's their first night. So obviously, to be true to that, they're obviously doing as much as they can in the run-up, the last final half an hour to the show, to get everything ready and make sure all the set is finished, and the set is still being hammered together in that 30 minutes. And again, not wanting to give too much away, but there's a little bit of audience participation in that section, and a few fun things, which we find really helpful. Really sort of warms everyone up, so that by the time we hit the show proper, then it's everyone's already sort of warm and ready to laugh.
Your sound guy really is a piece of work. He's a wonderful producer. I wonder if you poached him from my last gig at the BBC. To get it that wrong takes talent.
Absolutely, yeah, no, he's great. He's great. It's really nice. I think, and it's nice, I think, as well, that we have sort of members of the stage management and people who you wouldn't normally see, who end up spilling onto the stage and becoming part of it. I think that's a really fun part of the show.
Of course, the irony to this show is, as you say, I have been in productions that are not meant to go wrong that do, and you do hear the odd wrong jingle in the wrong place, or the odd piece of music that comes in when it shouldn't, or the lights go down, or the set doesn't do this at the right time. I mean, it really does happen, this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we were all part of kind of youth theatres and sort of amateur groups and that kind of thing, growing up. And so I think we've definitely witnessed some of those things sort of firsthand. Jonathan, one of the other guys who I wrote the show with, has this sort of horror story, which is from when we were at drama school together, about he had a very small part in Medea, and he played the son who's dead and was sort of dragged in, and he had have all this sort of blood on him and stuff, and he had linen trousers, and all the blood got stuck to the got stuck on the dance floor matting, and so he ended up being pulled on and his trousers being dragged off. And all. So we've certainly had our fair share of embarrassment. Definitely, it's true. Yes.
And then on a health and safety point of view, how has this show got past? Because there's an awful lot of water being spilt on the stage. People end up with blood all over them. There's a lot, again, to go wrong if you slip in the wrong place. How do you work out where to stand? Because you can't really predict that, can you? You do a lot of spitting of water.
It's true, yes. I know we have to be careful, and we're very careful. For example, with the water, we're very careful to make sure most of that goes on the carpet, so you don't have too much on the floorboards and the wooden floor, so it stays sort of as unslippery as possible. Obviously, the show is hugely risk assessed, so everything that we do has a lot of sort of paperwork and stuff to go with it to make sure that it is safe. And so, there is a lot of health and safety sort of procedure and protocol behind all the chaos. So it is carefully choreographed.
And we're talking in between performances. I guess it's like a jigsaw puzzle, that set, that you have to take it through one by one, so that next time you do it, everything's in the right place, because there isn't a lot of gaps between jokes to have the right thing there. If it isn't there, it's going to struggle.
Yeah, we've got at the top of the show, we've got to make sure that everything is perfectly sort of set up and in the right place, and all the props are in the right place. And obviously, yes, as you say, the set does sort of deteriorate in certain stages, so that all has to be very, very carefully set. And if it's not, then totally, absolutely, then it can sort of lead to all sorts of crazy moments. But but we've got a fantastic stage management team who are very precise about all of that and really get it right. So that's fantastic.
It's not a surprise to me that you got rewarded this week with the Olivier, which you absolutely deserve. So many of these shows come and go, and they're not done as well. I think the reason you won is because this is done so well. I hope you know that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think we've been hugely humbled by that, because this show has got sort of very sort of humble beginnings, really. I mean, we started it in a pub theatre with 60 seats, and it was just an hour long, and we weren't even the main show. We were sort of on a late night slot and stuff. And so over the time, I think we've really, really honed the show, and we, as an ensemble company, sort of went back way beyond that, and we started off as an improv company for years, sort of while we were training at drama school and stuff. We did shows at the Edinburgh Festival and sort of in our weekends and stuff. And so, it's taken a long time to kind of get to know each other as well as we do, and I think that really helps, because I think we really trust each other, we really know each other very well and how to work with each other, and so hopefully that adds to make it a really tight show.
You all seemed incredibly surprised that you got the Olivier. Was it as much of a surprise? You looked genuinely thrilled.
Absolutely. We were. I mean, no, we were very surprised. We were really not expecting to win at all. The other two shows in the category were absolutely fantastic, and obviously we're sort of new kids on the block, really. So no, it was a huge surprise, and no, we really couldn't believe it. We're absolutely thrilled.
And it's amazing how it's turned into an empire. You're on the road as well with the Peter Pan that goes wrong, and all these various different sort of sidelines of this show. It's the same theme, though, isn't it? Just playing with theatre and making people laugh through the medium. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Peter Pan Goes Wrong is sort of follows on from this, although you can see it without having seen this one. It's on tour in the UK at the moment. But yeah, no, it's really fun. And what you actually see as well in Peter Pan Goes Wrong is you see even more of the offstage relationships between the actors sort of spilling onto the stage than you see in this. So you really get you get two stories. You get the story of Peter Pan, but also the story of the actors putting on, which I think is really fun.
It's a weird business when you step outside of it and think about that, because for us who just come into this 2 hours of this wonderful show, it's fantastic. But of course, you've got to live with it.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy. I mean, I think especially we've been doing the show for such a long time, and the whole point of it is that things go wrong. So we feel like in a way it's crazy that we've been making sort of the same mistakes for so many performances, but we love it, and you get a lot back from the audience as well, which is fantastic. And so I think that keeps it fresh all the time, and that makes it feel like it's sort of always different. Every show is different because the audience is different, and they respond in a different way to different moments and different things. And there's a lot of audience sort of not participation, but there's moments where if the audience laugh at something that we play that's really there and that's really happening, and these guys really are in front of an audience. So all of that keeps it changing at all, and that sort of keeps us sane, I think. And yeah, absolutely.
And vocally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how tired are you now with another show ahead? Because I mean, there's no great amplification in here, and there's a lot of screaming in the show as well for certain characters. You must be tired vocally by the end of it.
We can be. I mean, I think we all sort of take care to make sure our voices are all right, and we're careful to warm up and all that kind of thing. And we have a fantastic voice coach, Judith, who works on the show, and she sort of comes in every now and again and sort of looks after us. I mean, I think this space is actually quite good acoustically, and you know, so you're able to sort of, as long as you're sort of grounded and stuff, you're able to sort of belt it out. Then it's okay.
It was terrific, and I could hear every word. The audience loved it, and you deserve the huge applause at the end. This is a wonderful show. It's on here at the Duchess in the West End, and I think it'll be here for a while. You've just extended, which is great news. So many shows, even today, announcing their closing. It's a tough time out there.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I think we're really sort of moved. I think because this show came in, you know, we sort of originally thought probably we would just do a few weeks in the West End, sort of to finish off our tour, and we were sort of totally, you know, thrilled that NIMAX thought it could be a long runner, and to extend once was fantastic. To extend again is brilliant, and we're hopefully looking at taking the show over to America as well. So there's lots of opportunities sort of on the horizon as well. So it's very exciting.
Don't want to get too technical, but we need a reprint, by the way, of the programme. It's the Olivier Award winning The Play That Goes Wrong. We need a reprint on this.
Yeah, absolutely. We must get it. We must get that done.
It's worth the investment, I think. Henry Lewis, great to talk to you. Thank you so much, and good luck with this show.
Thank you very much.